Yo, how's it going? So my name's Connor, this is my second YouTube video. Today I want to talk about subliminal messaging and how that you can use subliminal messaging to influence your mind, your subconscious, and impregnate all the ideas that you want to create the manifestation of reality that you want. Because subliminal messaging is all around us. It's on TV, it's in the environment. I'm going to get into that in a presentation. I'm going to flip the screen in just a second and with my Picasso standard of artwork, demonstrate in clear form how all of this works. So yeah. Yo guys, how's it going? Welcome to my back office. This is where I'm going to illustrate the point that I was talking about earlier. We're going to talk about subliminals, the mind, and all that good stuff. So let this drawing here that I borrowed from Bob Proctor, but it's so perfect to use. Let this represent your mind. And notice how I've split it into half. Why have I done that? Well, because the top half of this is your conscious mind. The bottom half of it is the subconscious mind. And this is also your emotional mind. This is where your self-image. Your self-image lays in this part of your mind. Let's just give him a little body as well. I don't want to spend too much time making it look good. There's little arms, legs. So this guy, let this represent you. So your mind is attached to your body, and because the body is an expression of the mind. Now the consciousness is where most of school has you focusing. It has you remembering things, has you storing a bunch of information up here that you remember short term just to pass a test, and then you no longer need it for anything. A lot of the time. Sometimes you do, but a lot of the time you forget when you leave school. We don't read. A lot of us don't read after we leave school. Only very few of us do that. But anyway, I digress. So this is where the majority of your information is kept. When you're working day to day, your rational conscious mind is picking up things around you. You're having a conversation with someone, you're aware of your surroundings. This is the conscious mind, the part of you that just thinks generally, about general day-to-day stuff. The subconscious mind is an invisible realm. You can't see, you can't see the mind at all. The mind is non-physical, but the subconscious mind is where it is written in scripture, and it is believed to be the spiritual side of you, the emotional side of you that stores your self-image and just is connected to spirit. Now, why am I telling you this? Because this is how subliminals work. Alright, this is exactly how subliminals. All the other videos that you've seen, they're not as good as this one. Alright, I'm about to show you now. So your environment is outside of you. Your environment is in the form of peers. Peers. Circumstances. Problems. People. Opinions. Friends. Advertisements, all of this stuff, and we have something like 70,000 thoughts per day. But these thoughts don't belong to you. Are not your thoughts. They're put there by other people through distractions. Social media and all this stuff is influencing you all the time. You see, I'm going to make a video soon talking about dopamine, kind of like the one that Alex Becker made when he was talking about coffee and dopamine, how we're addicted to things outside of us. It makes us feel good in the moment because dopamine makes you feel like you're achieving things and really you're not a lot of the time. Now, social media and all these things outside of you they're marketed to you in such a way that you feel like you need them. You don't need them a lot of the time. They're cleverly marketed to you because they understand how to use this to their advantage and not to yours. Some of it's good stuff, but a lot of it is just we cram it in our conscious mind. We don't sort through it. We don't have a grounding of who we are. Don't have a grounding, understanding of who we really are. And so a lot of stuff just gathers up here. And we become just robots. We're literally working on autopilot. You know, a notification comes on our phone and it grabs us attention, pulls us away from whatever we're doing. We're so fixated on trying to prove ourselves to other people, and we're not in control of who we are. So when we focus on something for long enough in the conscious mind, it sinks down into the subconscious mind. And it becomes fixed. Fixed. I'm doing this with the mouse. It's kind of not the easiest task, but hey, it's working. So it becomes fixed here when you focus on it long enough. It ultimately becomes who you are. Do you really want all this to become who you are? Is my question to you. Because a lot of these 70,000 thoughts, you know, did you know that athletes have around 3,000 to 5,000 thoughts? Let me just write that down because I'm not sure you really understand how. I need to drill that point. Athletes have on average around 3,000 to 5,000 thoughts per day. Whereas all these people up here, then the average people have 70,000. Why? Why? What is that difference? Because athletes are so focused on what they're doing, their results. They're not affected by all. They understand this information. They understand that whatever they let into their conscious mind, whatever they focus on the majority of the time becomes who they are and changes how they act. It dictates how they act, and that changes their results. So, all right, so let's tie this in with subliminals. Now, you'll notice whenever you're trying to change a belief, if you've ever tried to change who you are, change a habit, habits are also stored here, by the way. Everything you do on autopilot is stored here because you've focused on it long enough, it's become who you are. You'll notice whenever you're trying to entertain new thoughts and change who you are to become someone new, there's a lot of resistance associated with that because it doesn't harmonize with what's already here. With what you already are is different to who you're trying to become. All right? So how do subliminals help you, and why should you use subliminals to benefit your life? Well, remember the resistance I was talking about. When you go to sleep, because this is when we're primarily interested in using subliminals when we go to bed. And when we're sleeping, the conscious mind is no longer there. You're unconscious when you go to sleep. Let me just I want to help, see if I can write some of this down. So, sleep renders you unconscious. Your subconscious mind is wide open when you sleep. So, you're influenced still by noises and things that go on outside of you even when you're sleeping. So if you were to use that to your advantage and play subliminal messages while you sleep, instead of getting all this junk in here, you're getting exactly the type of ideas that you want. Oh, damn it. Okay. You're getting the ideas that you want directly into your subconscious mind with no resistance. So what happens is, over time, because it's not an overnight process, it's a gradual thing. But as you play the subliminals consistently over a few weeks, months, however long everyone's different, you'll find that your subconscious mind, your self-image begins to change. You begin to have thoughts that you weren't having before. And your results are just changing because you're becoming someone new, because this is where your self-image is. And so your subliminals. So if I go, let me just illustrate this point even more. So we got, let's say subliminals are playing while you sleep. It's going straight in there. And it bypasses the subconscious mind. I don't know what the hell that is, but it doesn't need this subconscious. It doesn't mean the conscious mind isn't involved. You're unconscious. You're asleep. So you can begin to see how subliminals can really change your life. And while it is true that subliminals don't do anything for you unless you already have an intention set in place. So let's say you're using a love subliminal. You're trying to attract the person in your dreams, or you're trying to attract your ex back. If this is already a core desire of yours, but this stuff isn't in harmony with that desire, that you're consciously thinking of an idea, you're trying to impress it on here, but you feel negative about it. There's resistance. You already have an intention. So the subliminals are going to work for you. They'll work because you know you're open to those types of ideas. Just when you're awake, there's resistance there, because that's how the conscious and the subconscious mind works. And by the way, I'm not saying that you should give up your meditation and you should give up, focusing throughout the day on things that you want, or creating a space for meditation and visualizing. That stuff is still huge, because when you meditate, the conscious mind, it kind of almost goes to sleep. Really, your subconscious is more open. You're in a more subjective state, should we say? So I hope that made sense. I don't think there's really anything that I left out here. Yo, what's up? How's it going? Me again. So I hope that presentation made a lot of sense. I genuinely hope that it gave you a lot of value. I didn't really have that planned before. I just kind of went, let's just use this app. I literally downloaded the app 5 minutes before I used it. So my first time using it, so maybe a bit sloppy. That'll get better in time. Only my second YouTube video, so look, I'm really grateful that you stopped by and watched. If you have any questions about the presentation, please feel free to put a comment, put your thoughts down below. Either myself or a member of my team will get back to you, and I'll be catching you on the flip side in the next video. Peace out.